Hello and welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name is Jason Newland, and please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. Vinny is a bit restless this morning. Well, it's now 13 minutes past midday. Oh, he's now eating his breakfast. He's a bit restless. Anyway, this is Let Me Bore You to Sleep. Vinny is my co-host, a little red Jack Russell, the current love of my life. And he's a naughty little boy. He is. So, yeah, this is Let Me Bore You to Sleep, and today is Trivia Tuesday. Now, I'm a day late doing this, so realistically it's actually Trivia Wednesday, but I'm still going to call it Trivia Tuesday and pretend I did it yesterday. Okay, thank you very much. If I hadn't mentioned that, you wouldn't know. Why did I mention it? I don't know. I really don't know. It's a really nice day today. It's really nice out there. Blue skies. It's not cold. It's a bit chilly, but it's supposed to be, isn't it? It's not cold, not icy. And it's not raining, it's bright. It don't half make a difference. It does. Can you hear Vinny just running around like, oh, I don't know what to do, I'm bored. He's looking for something, but I don't know what. He is, he's looking, he's searching. So here's the update on me. Before I actually do the podcast. I'll be honest, I haven't been great the last few weeks, pretty much since August. And I suppose Uncle Sausages affected me a bit more than I kind of really thought it did. Which is weird because I didn't cry at all throughout that whole situation. At all. Not once. And I'm not necessarily much of a crier, but I do. It kind of surprised me a little bit that I didn't kind of lose it a little, you know. But hey, I didn't. But I have been thinking about it a lot. And thinking about Luke, it was his anniversary last week. And thinking about Andre. And thinking about my nan. And there's just thinking about stuff and that kind of stuff. And it's like, oh. And I'll be honest, it's not made me feel the most optimistic. And I guess it wouldn't, would it, really? You know, to be fair. If you keep thinking about running water, you're probably going to want to go for a wee-wee. You know, even if you don't need one, you're probably going to feel like you need one. So we are affected by what we think about. And at the same time, I always thought, no, I'm going to do a different recording every day, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and blah, 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 blah. And I kind of come to the conclusion that I don't have to do anything. Well, right now, I mean, I do have to breathe, I do have to eat, go to the toilet, but I don't have to make recordings. I do them because I want to do them. So if there's a day that I don't feel up to doing it, then I just won't do it. And I kind of recently felt a little bit guilty, like, oh, I should have done that yesterday. When actually, no. I do like the idea of having a routine, sort of doing one, like yesterday, Monday's boring objects and Tuesday trivia, maybe Whisper Wednesday, and Thursday, What's It, Friday, Q&A Friday. And I still intend to keep doing a Q&A Friday because that's the one that's possibly the easiest recording for me to make, because it's just me answering questions. And it's kind of got I would say it's kind of, it's taken on its own life almost. It's part of the routine, part of my routine, maybe part of some of your routine, to listen to the Q&A Friday, or maybe to ask a question for Q&A Friday. And apart from a couple of weeks, I haven't missed one at all since I started doing them, which was, I don't know how long ago. When was the first Q&A Friday? Anybody? I can check. He is now staring at me. He's standing on the settee, staring right at me. And I don't know what he wants. I genuinely don't know what he wants. He won't leave me alone. What was that? Someone just... Oh, right. The dustman people are coming around collecting the recycling, and they're making a little bit of bangs and noises and stuff. Right, let's go back to... Really? I've not got Q&A Friday, the first one. I've got to have the first one here, surely. Yeah, I do. It was the 10th of April 2024. Wow. So was that April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So 1 year and 8 months I've been doing the Q&A Fridays. It was only supposed to be like maybe one or two. I didn't think it would be the huge success that I wish it had been, that I'm pretending it's been. It's quite a few, isn't it? Yeah. So what I've decided is I'm going to relax. So I started this week. This is the opposite to relaxing. What I did is Friday I started making videos again and giving myself hours and hours and hours and hours of extra work. And then adding those videos to TikTok. And then even I did a few TikTok lives where I was recording the podcasts. And I don't really feel that I enjoyed doing that. It was new. I've done live broadcasts before, but I've never done it. I don't think I'd ever done it on TikTok, not for quite a few years. And I found myself watching TikTok, and sometimes people would be having dramas and stuff, and it'd be like almost like watching EastEnders. And then I realised that actually this is not really doing me any good. It's just using my time up. But I have reached like a new kind of audience by posting my recordings onto TikTok. Not a large audience, but probably a few hundred maybe that have downloaded, that have listened to my stuff. I don't even have 100 followers on there yet. But the videos, you don't have to follow to listen to the recordings. So what I do is, when I make a podcast, there's 6 versions. They all get added to my YouTube channel automatically when I've uploaded them. And then I download the one without music to my phone. I share it and post it onto, we generally try and do it on Instagram, but TikTok definitely, because it's the quickest one. So add it to TikTok, and then people can just listen to it. So I'm going to continue to do that, but I'm not going to continue to... It wasn't so much that I was watching TikTok, it's just I wanted to find out how it all worked. And for those people that are willing to be on there all the time, they can make a lot of money being on TikTok. Did you just hear Vinny go, "Mwah. Will you give me kisses? Were you giving me kisses? Were you going, "Mwah"? What do you want, Vinny? What is... Oh. Right, I'm going to go and find out what he wants, because he's literally hassling me. I'll be back in a second. Right, I just got him some food. Some more food, because he'd just eaten some. He didn't want it, so hey... But he stopped hassling me. He's now underneath the table, crunching on some... Well, he's in his little boneyard that he's got down there, which I need to tidy up. Talking of tidying up. Oh, man. Yesterday, I did have some notice for this, but the boiler man came round to check the boiler and make sure it was working okay with his apprentice. And I knew that they were coming. For some reason, I thought it was the 5th of December, but it wasn't. It was the 2nd of December. Luckily, I checked the letter on, I think, the Saturday or the Sunday. So I knew that I was, I had a couple of days to make the kitchen human-friendly. User-friendly, visually friendly, I don't know. So I had a little bit of a scrubbing session just to try and make the place look clearer. The weird thing about it is, now when I go in there, I quite like it. I do quite like tidy, yet I'm not a tidy person. I suppose it's... I don't know. I suppose it's like really enjoying looking at something but not wanting to do it myself. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a thing. Oh yeah. So there's something quite relaxing that I find. It's on YouTube. And they show there's some channels for everything really, isn't there? But there's channels where they've got these people go around doing gardening. But they'll go around and they'll landscape someone's garden for free. And occasionally the neighbours will call the police, and it's kind of weird how that happens, but they don't show it in real time, because then that'd be like a 7-hour video. But they're showing out, like, it might last for 20 minutes, but it'll be kind of fast forwarding, showing the whole clear up of like a really messy yard. Well, we call them gardens here, but yeah, you might call them yards where you live. Unless, of course, you live in London and you might call where you live a yard. Let's go back to my yard. I mean, I remember hearing that in the 90s, like, what do you mean yard? What are you talking about? You live in a room in a house. There's literally there's not a garden. There's no garden, not even for the people to share. So it's not a yard, is it? It's a room. After me, come on, say, let's go back to my room. You can do it. My yard. No, my room. Yard. No, I can't. Couldn't do it. Couldn't change. I said, I'll give you £2.50 cash if you can say a room for the next year. He said, what, continuously? I said, no, just instead of yard. He said, okay. And he started giggling. I said, why are you giggling? He said, because you won't be with me all the time, will you? So when you're not around, I'm going to say yard. Now who's the winner? Never saw that £2.50 back. Anyway, yard, and it has the proper term, which is, using proper terms makes me sound very old. I remember when I worked in the Buddhist shop, the gift shop, 2004, one of my colleagues who was 20 years older than me, my work colleagues, said to me, oh, that's a very gay shirt you have on there. Now, this was 2004. I would argue that pretty much the whole of UK society knows that the word gay it doesn't refer to flowery and happy, maybe the way it used to be, jovial and bright. That's how it used to. That's what gay kind of used to stand for. Before the Second World War, maybe before 1950s, 60s maybe. And I thought, what you know that you've just used the wrong word. I wasn't bothered by the word. It's just like, why have you used the word in the wrong context when you must be aware that word is not used in that way anymore? And I realised that I now do the same thing. I do exactly the same thing. And why is my laptop just shut off? Oh. I do the same thing now. I don't know why. I don't know, I think it amuses me slightly. In a very, very small way. But I know I've realised one thing is that I'm not. If I listen to enough young people on, I felt old watching TikTok wasn't videos I was watching live streams, because I thought, okay, let's see what people are talking about. If I'm going to do my own live streams, I was doing a bit of research, really, like who's getting the most likes, who's getting the most, who's got the most viewers, and it kind of seemed to break into different categories. You had some people were getting views, like singers they had a large audience. People who would just sit there and sing, or stand there and sing. Maybe buskers. There's a bloke on there that looks like Mr. Bean, and he's got something like he's got millions of followers on his TikTok channel, and he's the one that has the most out of anyone that I saw when I went on there. Then you got those that, and you got those that do like entertainment stuff like that, maybe magic. There's a few controversial people on there that are actually quite fun to watch, because they'll just come out with all kinds of weird stuff, and I think people actually go on there to almost, it's almost like, I don't know, Basil Fawlty, like a real adult version of Basil Fawlty. Sometimes I saw there was a bloke on there, and he was basically just being rude to everyone. But it was in such a way that it actually didn't really come across as offensive. Well, not to me. It was quite funny. I found there was a lady that all she did was, I'm not saying all she did like putting her down, but what she did, she played with this gooey stuff, and she had thousands of people watching her at a time. She'd just be playing these things, and she'd just say hello to people as they came on. And I can see how that would be fairly relaxing to watch, because, you know, I did a similar video to that, wow, about 5-6 years ago on YouTube. Just a video where I had this goo stuff, and I played with it, and I had a few thousand views of that video, actually. I don't know where it is now. It was ASMR. I just whispering and gooing, playing with the goo. I think it was green. Some people sit there just doing knitting. What have I seen? People building stuff, like with Lego or other kinds of things, you know, bricks and stuff. And then there's some people go on there and they dance. There's some people on there that are giving advice. There's other people that are just debating. You know, they put up a post up saying, making a statement, and then what do you think? And then people will come on, and it'll be a live debating session. Those are usually to do with religion. And then there's some people that would be just sit there with and just sit there, won't even talk. Some people, they just do their makeup or brush their hair, or just, or maybe be in the gym. There's a fitness trainers doing fitness exercise programs with people online, live on a live stream. There's people sitting there that are basically getting a lot of attention because of how they're dressed, or because of how attractive they are. And then you've got some people that they're on there having private conversations in public with people they actually know in real life, and maybe people they've met online and feel like they're friends now, which I understand. If you talk to them, they become friends, don't they? So maybe they've been doing that for a few years, and now they've got this big community of people that end up almost, they don't want anyone listening. Yet but they go on to a live broadcast. And then you've got some people that will sit there smoking illegal substances, and I do wonder, like, you've got to be careful. If you've got a job and one of your colleagues or your boss sees like a live stream or something like that where you're doing something that's potentially illegal, or, is it illegal if you do it at home? I don't know, but it could affect your job, couldn't it? And I was always a little bit concerned, when I made videos on YouTube in the early days and I had jobs, and I thought I just have to be a little bit careful. I was doing mainly just hypnosis stuff, the odd vlog, but I kind of was also aware that anybody could view it. My boss could view it. And I was also promoting myself locally in that town. So a lot of people knew what I was up to. Up to? That sounds a bit dodgy, doesn't it? They knew that I was making videos and podcasts and helping people with chronic pain locally, and other stuff that I was doing I was doing group sessions as well. So yeah, I don't know, just I don't fit into any of those categories, apart from maybe the attractive ones. Yeah. And I found myself even looking and thinking, I wanted just to look. And I thought, is this really how I want to spend my time? And the answer's no. So TikTok is gone for me. I'm not bothering with it. I will post my videos on there, but I don't think it's any point me doing live broadcasts. And what I was going to do was just record myself doing these podcasts live, and then video it at the same time separately, record it on a microphone. So I did all these three things happening at the same time, and it was a little bit overwhelming for me. Plus, some of the comments that came onto TikTok Live were a bit rude. Well, a bit more than just a bit rude. The kind of stuff that people wouldn't say to your face, generally, in normal society. And I realised that there's a lot of kids on there, because I don't think adults would write stuff like that. They must be like tiny little kids thinking it's funny to ask. It's weird stuff. I don't know. I can't think of any examples, or trying to get me to say two words that actually make up a naughty word. That makes, a bit like Bart Simpson phoning up the pub. and saying, can I ask what's his name there? I said, and then realising he just said a naughty name, and then Bart Simpson hangs up laughing. It's that kind of thing. And it's not original. However, it's quite easy to get caught out, which I did once. I ended up saying, I said a very bad word. I didn't, but they got me to say something that sounded like that word. Or they got me. They caught me out. But I don't have time for that anymore. I never have really, even when I was at school. No, I'd have loved it when I was at school. What am I talking about? TikTok. I'd have been on there all day and all night. I'd have loved it. I probably would have been a troll myself. Not realising I was causing harm to others. I wouldn't be doing it out of, vindictiveness or viciousness or anything like that. Just thinking it was funny and not realising that it might be funny to some people but not to others. So I did see this one thing yesterday, and there was this lady on there, and someone made a comment on her appearance. Why can't you cover up, was the comment that this person made. And the reaction to that, admittedly, some of it was funny. There was a line, I can't remember what it was, but it was when they crossed the line, but there was a certain line that she said that was very funny, but I can't remember what it was. But then it got worse and worse, and so she started attacking the person that attacked her verbally, and then she got two other people to join in the live to also attack the other person. Then she gets her phone out and starts showing pictures of the person that had told her to cover up, and she says, "Why are you jealous of me?" And it's just like, oh, wow, I couldn't handle all that. Because you imagine if I said something that upsets someone on TikTok, all of the videos and pictures of me on there, they could have a field day making fun of me. I mean, literally, I don't know how many I've got. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33. Okay, must be an easier way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. 47 times by 3. So it's 120. 130. So yeah, it's like 150 odd recording videos of me. And that's just some of the stuff that I've uploaded. And I mean, none of them are getting like huge amounts. The one I did yesterday, 5. But then another one I uploaded yesterday got 86 views. So it just depends on, I guess it's so much. Another one's got 85. Another one's got 82. Some have got 40s. The video Andre eating some ice cream got 705 views. Another video of Andre knocking my plate off a table, 487. A video of Andre destroying my settee, 242 views. Another one of Vinny attacking my leg, 251. So the doggy or the animal ones get more views, but generally it's mainly videos, of recordings. Letting go. So that was 133 views, 184 for hypnosis for anxiety, 95 for hypnosis for severe menstrual cramp relief, and then 132 ASMR relax deeply. 132 for that one. I realised if I hadn't uploaded so many so quick, I'd have a lot more views on each of the videos. But then I've got release intention, 100 and I can't even see, 1,203 release intention. Q&A Friday, 485. This is from a couple of weeks back. So yeah, there's a few that kind of 258. Let Me Boy to Sleep Whisper Wednesday. This is a couple of weeks back. 273. Yeah, so if I don't add loads every day, I'm probably, if I just add one a day when I make a recording, then it will probably just grow naturally, organically, There's just getting on there and doing, like, saying, okay, I'm going to get on at 5 o'clock every day. I just don't seem to be able to do that. And I don't need to, do I? So I'm going to, that's, I don't know what I'm trying to say, just like, I'm just going to, I know sometimes I say, I don't know if I want to do this, and I get a message sometimes that sounds a bit harsh, well, don't do it if you don't want to do it. Like, no, you don't understand. It's not that I don't want to, it's not that I don't want to help people, because I do. It's just sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can't function. Sometimes I can't do stuff. It's not I don't want to, as in I can't be bothered. I'm just going to go. I want to go and do something more fun. It's not that kind of attitude. This is my life. This is what I do. But it's more a case of I can't. I just literally can't sometimes. So my focus at the moment is relaxing. I do want to tidy this place up as well, because I think that will help. But relaxing, calming down a bit, figuring a way to get through this month, because it's an expensive month, isn't it, with Christmas? So trying to figure that one out. Still waiting to see if my benefits are going to be cut. I don't know if I'm going to find out before Christmas about that yet. And then going forward for next year, I guess it's just continuation of now, really. Just a continuation of this year, but I'd really like to try and kind of get out. I'm not even going to say get out more, just get out. Because outside of taking Vinny to the park for a walk, I don't go anywhere. So the idea of maybe, I mean, I could take him for long walks to the shop. If I need to get stuff, I could took him to the shop to get myself food, which would save me money because I'm spending way too much money on deliveries. But I can't take him inside the shops. And he doesn't like being left on his own. And I don't want him barking and making a lot of noise to disturb my neighbour, because my neighbour's so good. Honestly, I've got the best neighbour in the world and so considerate. So I want to be considerate back. And I know having a dog screaming because he's so high-pitched, and I do know what it sounds like from downstairs as well, because I had to call an ambulance for my neighbour downstairs a couple of years ago. And so I'm in the living room with the paramedic, and I could hear Vinny barking. And I thought, wow, is it really that loud? No one answered. I suppose one is you don't really need to answer, is it? Like, we can all hear it. Like, no, it's not really that loud. It's in your head, Jay. We can't even hear the dog barking. So yeah, that's where I am. So I thought, thinking about peaceful stuff, maybe focus on, for the Trivia Tuesday, I chatted with my good friend ChatGPT, and I decided the subject to ask for a list of things, trivias about it, is the most peaceful places on earth. I'll have a drink of water as well. I actually, I remember I made a recording, and I was probably 15 days into a chest infection. So I kind of got over the worst of it. It was maybe a week into it, and I still wasn't able to lie down yet. So I was sleeping in a chair, trying to sleep in a chair. So I thought, you know what, I'll try and make a recording. But back in them days, and this was 2012, I think, I had limited editing ability. Even though I've been making videos for 6 years, I just used to make videos and just upload them. No editing at all. It's terrible, really. I mean, I did start to do a bit more editing by about 2009. But I think I might not have had the correct equipment at that time. I can't remember it anyway. I was making this video. I was sitting in a chair, and the video was on, I can't remember what it was on. Probably a relaxation session, lasted about 50 minutes. And I'm in this very dark room, so that wasn't very good for making videos, but you know, you do what you can, don't you? And I'm trying to stop myself from coughing so that I don't have to edit the video. So I've got a bottle of water next to me, and whenever I find myself coughing, or wanting to, I have a drink of water. Plus, I had a dry throat, and from all the coughing and stuff. I managed to finish this recording. I felt really good because I hadn't done anything for over a week. I'd been pretty much just unwell for a week prior to that, and wasn't able to go to work. I was losing money, but I felt like, I've done something. I've produced something. Hopefully this will be useful. And this is back in the days when I had my original YouTube channel, which was fairly doing quite well, kind of, for me. So when I released a video, I'd normally get a nice number of views. I think I was not a huge amount, but not compared to popular channels, but I was getting 45,000 plays a month on my channel, my YouTube channel, which meant and I wasn't doing videos every day, so I was getting thousands of views on the videos I did do. And now if I can get 10 views, I'm happy. Ooh. And I uploaded it. I had someone say, I just disgusted. I can't stand hearing someone drinking water, swallowing water. And I thought to myself, how does that person get through their life? To not be able to handle hearing someone drinking water. I mean, everywhere you go, not everywhere you go, but what about when they drink water themselves? What do they put earplugs in? But even with earplugs, you can still hear. So yeah, I can imagine. Because I've got a friend who got to the point where she couldn't stand hearing her husband eat a yogurt. I wonder if it really is just about the person rather than the yogurt. I don't know. The only thing I really struggled with, like when it comes to hearing, when it comes to people, when I did sales, if someone had a really, really bad cold and they'd be talking on the phone and constantly sniffing, and you could almost hear inside their nasal passage, that I found a little bit gross. But then I would never, and because the phone's quite intimate, isn't it? So, yeah, maybe that it was a similar thing for her. I don't like it when they... Someone did moan when I was breathing. I don't like it when you breathe. Well, me neither, but unfortunately, I kind of got her. I remember I did a yoga session once, and I only won one session because I farted, so I couldn't really go back. But I remember the yoga teacher saying, "Remember to breathe." I've never forgotten to breathe, not once. Perhaps I should have that on my tombstone. I forgot to breathe. I mean, what? I've never forgotten. In fact, I would even say that it's out of my control. Get on with the podcast. Okay, I couldn't I? But yeah, I found that weird though. Like, people picking just little things. I'm not a big fan of... One of the reasons why I'm not a successful painter, other than the fact of no painting ability, is I don't like the feeling of a paintbrush on the paintboard. It actually makes me feel, ooh, don't like it. Just so, yeah, I mean, I suppose it depends what kind of paint you use, but like water paints and stuff like that, ooh, yeah. For years and years and years, I used to think I've got no artistic ability. There's no artisticness in me. But in a way, this is artistic, isn't it? This is creative. I'm creating as I go along. I don't know what I'm going to say from one second to the next. There's a purpose for it. There's meaning, kind of meaning to it. It's expressive sometimes. Yeah, so maybe this is my art. Maybe I don't need to write a book. Maybe this is my canvas. Just talking. Perhaps that is enough. I don't know. What do you think? So, most peaceful places on earth. I think this is based on like globally accepted norms, but there's no right or wrong really with this. But if you was to say a country that was at war, obviously they're like, no, silly. So, it's kind of in a way of, they seem to be focused on those that are, I think for me, I don't know, when I think of peaceful, I don't necessarily think of low crime or low population, or I don't know, I suppose it's more of a feeling, maybe an auditory sensation of calmness, maybe somewhere with mountains and like a forest perhaps, or I don't know, lakes, all the things I don't have here that I'd quite like to be around maybe. So Iceland comes at number 1, consistently ranks as the world's most peaceful country on the Global Peace Index. Okay, Iceland. I'd like to go to Iceland. Is there anybody listening to this who's from Iceland? Please say hi. No way, I'm not trying to get you to move in. Don't try and, don't want to come. I'm not saying I want to come on holiday and stay with you. Unless, of course, you offer. Iceland. It's a very green country, isn't it? I do believe. But that's all it's saying on here. New Zealand, known for extremely low crime, vast nature and quiet rural landscapes. Now, that is kind of at the top of my list for somewhere to go and visit, because I've been told that it's kind of the closest to living in England, but just a nicer version. In like weather-wise, is quite similar in some ways, but it's just same side of the road driving, but it's just different, but it's a nicer version. I don't know how true that is. If you live in New Zealand, maybe let me know. Switzerland. I think my auntie's in New Zealand, or she's in that part of the world. I think she tried to emigrate there about 20 years ago, but she couldn't. Or immigrate. Emigrate. What's the difference between immigrating and emigrating? Immigrators, emigrating. So immigration is what you know. Emigrate. Is it when you come back? I don't know. Shall I search? I want to find out the difference, because I used to know this, but at the time I didn't care. Oh, what? Right. This is not even allowing me to difference between immigration and emigration. Immigration refers to the act of coming into a country to live. Emigration refers to the act of leaving one's home country to settle elsewhere. It's the same thing. So someone emigrating then becomes someone. You have to be both. You have to be an immigrator and an emigrator. So emigrating is leaving, immigration is coming into. So immigrants are also emigrants, because they've left their country of origin. I thought it was. Switzerland, famous for political neutrality, stable society, and serene mountain regions. I used to know someone, again, it's quite a long time ago, that lived in Switzerland with her husband for quite a few years. And she said it was, this is what she said, okay, not me. She said it was a very, very boring place to live, and not a nice place to live. So I don't know what she meant. Like I can't tell you more what she said, but she said the happiness index would be quite low, but this was again 25 years ago. So maybe it's changed, and maybe it was just her personal opinion, her personal experience, and other people didn't feel the same. I know it's popular for skiing holidays, isn't it? I think Switzerland. I really don't know. Bhutan. Now it measures progress by gross national happiness and protects forests by law. It's a happy place to live, but it's also a very difficult place to live. So Bhutan. So let's have a look. Where's the B? Bhutan. What did it used to be called? Original name. Tibet, wasn't it? Bhutan. The original name of Bhutan is believed to be Mon. Okay. Oh, it is Tibetan. It's a Tibetan place. So Bhutan. So it's a growing country. but it's also it's 169th by economy size in the world. It's a very small country. I mean, how many people live there? Because they said they've got a debt of 3.49 billion, which is, I mean, I just want to know how many people live here. Economy of Bhutan. Animal husbandry. That's a popular thing. Alright, so they've got a very small population, 780,000 back in 2021. It's a very tiny amount, isn't it? I mean, there's more, probably that's about how many people live in my street. There's not. I don't know why I said that. A bit of a weird thing to say, isn't it? I know that my friend used to finance, or partly finance, an orphanage in Bhutan, and his friend ran it, and he helped to finance it. So he used to visit once a year, and he loved seeing the kids, and they used to call him uncle, and he watched them grow up like over 20 odd years. But he hated going there because it was just, he said he didn't like it, just didn't like being there. To the country, like it was just. This is again a long time ago, so he's just struggled with it, but he loved the people, were brilliant, the kids and everything like that. But I guess that terrain, the roads, it just wasn't quite like being in London, if you know what I mean. Wasn't, and I think there was an earthquake or something, so that messed things up as well. Anyway, so Bhutan is a small country. I like the idea of going to Bhutan in a sense because it's a Buddhist country as far as I'm aware. But I don't know. It's not that. Well, I guess I'm used to home comforts. It's not home comforts as in wealth. It's home comforts as in things that I probably don't appreciate, that I would appreciate if I lived in some other countries that didn't have them. Like central heating, some of the standard things that we have, or that I might have access to here, might not be available, or definitely isn't available in some parts of the world. Very careful with my words there, because I know not of what I say. I know it's true, but I don't have necessarily specific examples. I'll give you a couple, but I won't. I mean, in some ways, Thailand is... Well, in some ways, Thailand is very different from this country. But in some ways, they're well ahead. In some ways, they're well behind. Health and safety is hardly... I'm not sure if they've even heard of health and safety out there. If you look at the wiring, hundreds of wires all tangled together, honestly, it's amazing. Never seen anything like it. And people riding around. I actually once saw a bloke riding down an alleyway. It was like a road, but it was an alleyway, yeah, with people in it. He was holding a ladder. It looked like a window cleaner. But he wasn't holding the ladder how you or I would hold the ladder whilst riding on a road. he was holding it sideways. And he was just knocking people over, those that didn't get out of the way. And he wasn't doing it ironically or for a laugh, it didn't seem. I mean, you'd expect to see that and see a camera crew with a director saying, okay, cut, that was a good one. Now this time, you need to get knocked over. You've got to stop, you keep getting out of the way, but you're getting paid an extra £2 a month to do this. But no, nothing. No secret cam. Well, you wouldn't know if it was a secret camera, would you? Wouldn't know, but he genuinely was riding down a road with the ladder, and it was probably a good 6-foot ladder, wooden ladder, going out either side of his bike. And that's amongst probably the most... I mean, I've seen a lot of dumb things over the years, and I've done a lot of dumb things over the years. But that is probably... it's up there. It's got to be in the top 100. You know, I mean, I've got a lot of years to go through, and there's a lot I can't remember. But it's definitely got to be in the top 100. Maybe even top 20. It might even be the number one, but I doubt it. I'd like to eventually get the top 10 of the most silliest things I've ever witnessed with my own eyes. I mean, I've seen stuff online that it's just so funny. Although now the AI is getting... some of the AI stuff is just so hilarious. I can't know. Well, for me, I just find it really funny. I don't know. I mean, it's rude as well, but it's funny. Yeah, I won't go into details, but some of it is it's on Instagram or it's on YouTube. But it's done so well. And we're not far away from a news story coming on and being, I was going to say being completely fake. I mean, that happens a lot anyway, but this will be completely fake with film footage. Like, indistinguishable. And it will be a massive thing. And then someone will say, wait a minute, that was Sora was used for this, or AI was used for this. And there's going to be court cases where people literally can't, the jury won't be able to decide because they won't know if it was the film footage was AI or not. They won't know for certain because we're already there really, but we're only a couple of years away from not being able to tell. It's going to be interesting. Finland, high safety rankings and thousands of quiet lakes and forests. I don't know what it is about Finland. I think I like anything with the word land in it because it's like my name, isn't it? Finland. Although I do say New Zealand. New Zealand. I like the idea of Finland. Canada. Huge peaceful areas such as Banff, Jasper and the Northern Territories. Now, I've never been to Canada. Well, I haven't been many places really. I'd like to go to Canada, but I would be a little bit concerned about the bears. Not really a big fan. I mean, I think they're beautiful on the television screen. The same as Predator and Alien. They're lovely to look at on the television screen. but I don't want one in the street, you know? So, Canada, that was the one thing. Because in this country, we don't have anything like that. I mean, we've got cattle. Bulls can be, I mean, huge animals, aren't they? Bulls. We used to have wolves in the wild. Was it a book, Wolves of Willoughby Chase or something? I think that was named after the wolves of a place called Willoughby Chase. And in Scotland, I'm pretty sure they were going to re-release wolves back into the wild. And why would you do that when on this landmass, bearing in mind, a wolf is not going to get to the edge of Scotland where it goes into England and say, wait a minute, nope, let's say in Scotland we can't go into England. No, they could go anywhere they want between England, Wales, the whole of the landmass. Why introduce a predator to humans, potentially? What's next? Let's get some lions, some tigers, alligators. Yeah. No. Stop it. That's enough. Some panthers. Japan. Stick some sharks in the lakes, shall we? No. Mind you, a lake's on their own. I know rivers lead to the sea eventually. Lakes, there's got to be, the water's got to be coming from somewhere. Because if a lake didn't have anything coming in, it'd just go stagnant, wouldn't it? It's like a big pond, a lake. If it hasn't got any circulation of water, it would just be smelly and dirty. But then you might say, well, no, it's the rain, isn't it? The rain stimulates the lake. I've seen ponds stay stagnant, even with rain. If they're not like filtered out, or they haven't got some kind of water running through it, oxygenating or whatever, the water, it just becomes dirty and stagnaty. So do lakes lead on to rivers from some angle? Maybe even underground, I mean. Underground? Yeah. I mean, there is water underground, you know. That's why wells were invented. How did they find that out? Can you imagine building a big well going down hundreds of feet? What are you doing that for? Oh, you wait. No, but really, honestly, why? You've been doing that for 3 years now. All these bricks, everything. What for? Oh, you just wait and see. Just wait and see. And then when they finally dug up and the water came in, how did they get out of the well? They might have just had like, what are those armbands? So they could just float to the top. And why doesn't the water overflow from a well? An active well? My granddad, did I tell you that he boxed at 8 years old at the Albert Hall, the old Albert Hall? 8 years old, he was boxing as an amateur, obviously. And he boxed probably, I don't know, from the age of 7 all the way to the age of 28 when he left the army. So he went to the army at 16, did 12 years, came out of the army, then a year later he had to go back in for the war. So he fought, he literally boxed from the age of 6 to the age of 28, which is 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, it's like 22 years. Not all the time, but I found out when he was in the actual army for his 12 years, he was a fitness instructor. So very likely he taught the new recruits or the other people how to box as well, because that was all part. It was standard. Boxing was a very natural thing. I think it was part of school. It was part of, if you got football and maybe rugby and stuff like that at school. I think boxing was also like a natural thing that kids got taught during like the 30s or 20s and 30s. I'm partly making that up, as I do most things. Japan, calm temples, traditional gardens, and very low violent crime rates. See, I like the idea of visiting Japan. I do. Kind of for that reason. So I'd like to visit Japan. Maybe stay a month, maybe, or a week. But I would like to go there and just see what it's like. I've heard good things. Denmark, also they're very high tech. There's parts of Japan that are way, way more advanced than the West. Denmark, regularly ranked as one of the world's safest and happiest nations. To Denmark. I've been to Amsterdam, which is that Denmark area, isn't it? I'd like to go, I'd like to visit again. Australia, peaceful alpine landscapes and low national conflict levels. Austria. I don't know why. I seem to think of Austria and Switzerland in the same kind of thoughts process. I don't know why. I think when I think of the Alpine, because I have Alpen for my breakfast sometimes, and that whole, I know it's a breakfast cereal, it's an oatmeal breakfast cereal. That's really, when I said that, I got a flashback, but it wasn't, it was just a feeling like from the past, but it was a nice feeling. It's like really calm. Maybe I just haven't said the word Alpen out loud for a while. I used to like to have Alpen. My memory of Alpen really was probably when I lived with my dad for a short while in 1990. He moved to his current house now, and I was there for about a month, and then I moved out. But I helped him move and stuff. And I was sitting in there, and I used to do a night shift in a factory. And I had an orange juice and some muesli when I got home from the factory. So I'd finish at 6 in the morning, to 10 at night till 6 in the morning. I'd be home by about 6:30. I'd have a bowl of Alpen and an orange juice. I I might have had a cup of tea as well, but I don't think I would have done. But there's a chance I might have done. And then I just went to bed. I might have watched a little bit of TV for half an hour. I'm not 100% sure. But I think I just went to bed. Yeah. That story wasn't quite as exciting as I thought it might be. You got Austria. Okay, it's done that. Portugal. High global peace index ranking and tranquil coastal towns. Portugal's near Spain, isn't it? I think. I've never been there. I don't know. The thing is, yeah, I didn't realise it was quite a peaceful place. So, specific peaceful nature locations. Have you noticed how England isn't on there? Lake Louise, Canada. Known worldwide for calm turquoise water. Purple. Or blue, isn't it? Turquoise is blue. Why have we got to just add different, just blue? Blue. A different light blue. Different kind of blue. Mountain silence. The Faroe Islands. Low population, untouched nature, and no heavy industry. The Faroe, I've heard of them. I don't know where they are. The Azores in Portugal. Volcanic islands with quiet coastal scenery and protected landscapes. Patagonia. That's in Chile and Argentina. Vast remote lands with minimal human development. Ah. The next place is in Scotland. The Scottish Highlands. Long stretches of quiet glens, lochs, and unpopulated areas. Oh. What is it, the Loch Ness Monster? That's one of the lochs, isn't it? Why is it called a loch? Why not call it a lake? Is loch, does that just Scottish mean word for lake? The Alps, Switzerland, Austria and Italy. Renowned for stillness, fresh air and wide open landscapes. Yeah, visually that's got to be amazing. The Lake District, England. Never been to the Lake District. Valleys and lakes historically admired for tranquility. Maybe that's what I need to do. Find somewhere nice in this country. Somewhere, I mean, there's nothing wrong with here, but somewhere beautiful. You know, somewhere just where the scenery is phenomenal. Yeah. I tell you one of my I'll say it now while I remember it. Torquay. I visited Torquay in 2003. It's up, I don't know, is it West England? Kind of Cornwall area, kind of around that kind of direction. I've been to Cornwall a couple of times, been to Somerset. Torquay, I don't know if they've still got it. They had a coral reef, like clear water, sand on the beach, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I don't know, I mean, they might have more than one beach there, but the beach I was near wasn't very big, but it was lovely. Lovely. But then other places that aren't that far away from where I live have also got really nice beaches, like Yarmouth. I can't think of the other place. Yosemite's High Sierra, USA. Quiet backcountry regions with minimal human noise. 19. The Norwegian fjords. Low population density and extremely quiet natural fjord systems. And they got 20. Svalbard, Norway. Remote Arctic archipelago with vast frozen landscapes. Oh, I don't know an archipelago. Lego. And now we've got peaceful islands and seaside locations. So Bora Bora, so it's French Polynesia. Calm lagoons and protected marine areas. Maldives. Low-rise islands known for silence and isolated resorts. Ooh, imagine living somewhere quiet without people in the garden. Seychelles. Granite islands with quiet beaches and strict conservation laws. Jeju Islands, South Korea. Recognise UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. I've got no idea what that means. Shall we just have a look? Let's look it up. Come on, let's have a little look. It sounds like something I need to know. I'm going to educate myself. The World Network of Biosphere Reserves now includes 784 sites in 142 countries, covering 5% of the planet. These reserves are recognised for their high biological and cultural diversity, providing a balance between people and nature. They serve as learning places for sustainable development, testing local solutions to global challenges, and promoting sustainable livelihoods. The network fosters international cooperation through the exchange of experiences and best practices among biosphere reserves. Okay. I was kind of quite amazed at how I'm able to read out like a big paragraph like that and not take any of the information in. It's a skill. Hawaii, known as the Garden Island for its quiet, lush environment. Getting to near the end, peaceful, cultural and spiritual locations. 26. Kyoto, Japan. Temples, gardens and traditional districts maintained for centuries. Nepalese Himalayas. Remote monasteries and quiet trekking routes. Tibetan plateau, sparse population and historically peaceful monastic regions. Chiang Mai temples, Thailand, a centre for meditation and calm cultural heritage. Kerala backwaters, India, a network of peaceful canals and lagoons. We've got a few protected natural reserves. Fiordland National Park, New Zealand. Torres-del-Paine National Park, Chile. Kruger National Park, South Africa. Banff National Park, Canada. And the Atacama Desert, Chile, which is apparently one of the quietest natural landscapes on Earth. But it's a desert. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been to a desert. I've been on a beach. I got lost on a beach once on a hot day. That's the closest thing to being on a desert I think I'm ever going to have. It was a big beach, and I was facing the other way from the sea, so I didn't know there was any sea there. If I turned around, I probably would have done, but, well, I guess I would have done. So I did think that maybe I was in a desert. And I was only really young, so I was early 30s, and it was a big beach. So that's kind of, I'm not saying I know exactly what it's like to be deserted on a desert, but, you know, I got a slight taste of it. Except there was a McDonald's just up the road. And I could hear the ice cream van. And there were quite a few people having picnics on the sand. So I guess not exactly like a desert. Not exactly. And then you've got some peaceful small countries and regions: Luxembourg, Slovenia, Singapore, Ireland's west coast, and Costa Rica. I've got a high regard for Ireland, just because, I don't know, it's kind of my heritage from my grandmother. I lived there for a little while, but I've had a few friends that are Irish, 3 close friends in my life that have been Irish, so and that's it. And that is, I believe, the end of Trivia Tuesday. Didn't feel so much like trivia, but just factual, really, wasn't it? More factual Tuesday, really. But I'm going to go and say thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. Lots of love.